And folks, welcome to another edition of Steady Droppin Dimes. This is where three brothers come together to give you real opinions, real sports opinions on real topics, tossing them back and forth, going back and forth, all love all the time. There are no hard feelings. I have to preface it that way. You know, saying it's always all love. No matter how wrong we are. I
don't like your tone.
What do you mean? Slow down. Calm down.
I just don't like it.
Why we getting testy already?
Because I'm about to.
Brother,
go ahead. Finish your little soliloquy. Go ahead.
Why are we getting testy already?
Because go ahead. Finish your little thing. Go ahead.
It's no need for that. See, you shouldn't be so sensitive. You sound like Rev Tresvant over there right now.
I don't know who that is.
You don't know who Rev Tresvant is?
No, I don't care to know. Finish your deal.
You never
That's
heard
a second music reference he didn't know already.
Right.
I was born in 1991. I wasn't graduating high school in 1991.
Man, you sound like a man with sensitivity right now. We will play the music. You know,
and go ahead, have to get fined.
Sound like one of them dudes dancing around in the video with his shirt open. You know, like that.
I actually do got a funny video when I was in Japan. I put a fan in front of me and then with a button down shirt and open it and let it blow. It was sweet. I'm telling you, I put that on here one time.
You sound like a man with sensitivity.
Oh, I got great sensitivity.
Don't be a man with sensitivity. Not right now.
Yeah, whatever.
You were saying it with your chest, man.
This is all right, Sam. Let's just stop. Let's stop there because you take too long to get to the point. Listen, everybody, and a lot of people in the chat are.
I got to intro the show.
Everybody know this. Dropping dimes, dropping dimes, dropping dimes. We know this already. We saw the video in the beginning. I need to get my voice on there. We need to get a theme song. I can do that. But everybody understand. I'm Devin Gardner. Daniel Horton, dropping down since back in the day. One of the greatest players to ever come to Michigan. All-American, all that. Sam, Jackson Webb III, two straps sometimes. Sometimes they call him one. All his life, I saw him with just one strap backpack, and then he just all of a sudden threw two straps on. And I'm Devin Gardner. Now, can we move forward?
No.
And Underground Printing is the one that's sponsoring what we do for y'all, the people. I'm just telling you, they've been around forever, and you got all these other companies coming in trying to make T-shirts, season T-shirts, and carrying on. You know, they just doing stuff. But Underground Printing is who's been with us. So you shop with the people who have been your people from the start. Don't let these people come in and take that business. Go get the shirt and everything like that. Now,
wait. Just a few more words about.
Come on, man.
Hey, man, this dude trying to set the narrative real hard. Underground Printing. In Ann Arbor original since 2001. Here's what you need to know. It is a stripe out for the USC game. So you need to check your ticket. See, now your digital ticket, you need to know where you're sitting in the stripe out. Some of you are going to be maize. Some of you are going to be blue. No matter which color you're rocking, get your shirt from Underground Printing. All right? 3 locations in Ann Arbor, or go to undergroundshirts.com. It does not matter what color you're wearing or how you get it, whether it's brick and mortar or online. You need to go to Underground Shirts. Support who supports you. Support who supports Michigan. Love who loves you. Love who loves Michigan. That's Underground Printing. We're going to tell you more about our people, Ryan and Rishi. We tell you we hang around with the Underground. We take it seriously because companies come and go. Those relationships are fleeting unless you're talking about a company who's invested. They feel it like we do. That's what I'm saying. I want to support people who, when Michigan loses, when Michigan has ups and downs, they feel it just like we do. That's Underground Printing. They started Underground Printing in West Quad, in the dorm room. When we go to the Victor's Lounge on Saturdays, they're in the Victor's Lounge rocking with us. They're right there with us, pregame, hanging out. Like for real. Not just, hanging out, selling stuff. No, they're in the tent, hanging out, getting ready for the game. So it's not just a business, it's life for the guys at Underground Print. So when I say support who supports you, love who loves you, that's why you should rock with Underground Printing.
If you out of state or you in town, you need to get down with Underground.
There you go. There you go. See, okay.
That's on top of the dome, by the way. I just thought of that, by the way. Whether you out of state or in town, you need to get down with Underground. Come on, man. Hey, Ben, can you pump in a round of applause, please?
Hey,
do that. Can we do that?
Yeah, man.
What you say?
My dog is poet.
AK said we clown around when we hang around with the Underground. Everybody got it. Jay
Let's
Mary
go.
said you got bars, man.
It's crazy. I'm doing it. You know what I mean?
All right. So I
Sam,
hear you making a
it's okay. We don't need you more, Sam.
Let's get your preemptive strike out the way because I got.
Yeah, thank you. Can I please? Firstly, a lot of people in the chat, right? Everybody knows Monday Morning Quarterback. It wasn't an analysis. It was a guess based off of all the information we have of not allowing a kid to throw any passes, right? I thought for sure a coaching staff would not throw a guy out there after they've had opportunities to get him reps and make him the starter. I thought that was just out of the question. And it should have been, but he gets his opportunity. Now, another thing, the chat is talking about it. Sam had inside trader info.
Oh, that's so cool.
Sam, don't you interrupt. Sam. I'm still going, Sam.
Stop it.
Sam, everybody in the chat can confirm. Sam had inside, and I knew it by the look on your face. You had inside trader information. And I just been like so much that you was like, you know what? Let him ride on out there, even though I know I've already talked to the people that he is going to be the starter. Now, listen.
Dude is tripping.
And then you got other people saying, oh, well, if he don't play good, you was wrong. Wrong again. You want to know why I wasn't wrong? Because I said he deserves a what? An opportunity. I've said it over and over again. I have no idea what he can be. Guess what? I know what Davis Warren is, so I would love to see, but I would not love for a guy who hasn't gotten an opportunity to get his first start against USC. Now, let's be clear. I hope, I pray, and I kind of got an idea that he's going to perform well. You want to know why? Because the team believes. The team is going to be behind him. The defense is going to play well, right? And he's going to get some opportunities. Now, are we going to call the plays that are conducive to his success? I have no idea. But I hope that even then he can overcome that and make me even righter than I've ever been. But let's start with the premise that Sam had inside trading. People go to jail for that. That's a felony. That's a felony, Sam.
First of all, I got more love from my brother DG than that.
No, no, you don't. You don't love me. You don't love me.
I love my brother DG. I wouldn't do you like that. I would see now. Here's if I were you.
Hey, KD has said Sam put DG in front of the 10 a.m. Amtrak.
No, because here's the thing. The conviction. I mean, you wasn't just on the table, DG. You were on the mountain. You were on top of Everest.
Oh, yeah, because I thought for sure coaching staff would not do that to a kid. I thought they wouldn't, but obviously they will.
I mean, damn, DG. I mean, you were certain, brother. I thought you had inside information. You were so sure. I'm like, I'm doubting my damn self. Now, I told you I stipulated on the air that, I had talked to some people inside. I had heard to lead me to believe that it was leaning that way.
You dead wrong.
But hey, DG, look at my face.
He dead wrong, ain't he, Daniel? You listen to the show, Daniel. He dead wrong, ain't he?
First of all, you capping like a mug, Daniel. Stop being a peanut gallery. Because this dude's lying. He was talking on the show, and he asked me point blank, have you been told inside? And I had not been told inside.
That's a lie. The lie that's a lie.
Stop. Hey, Sam, the timing of it was crazy because DG said it on air, and then like an hour later,
only person that be that right is me.
No,
when it happens so fast like that.
No,
Sam ain't never hit something like that unless he had inside trader information.
Just because you put yourself out there.
Hey, John Olakowski, you about to get blocked. I can tell you that right now. You about to get blocked. Let me look how to spell your name so I can find you on every social media.
Just because you put yourself out there so strong.
Oh, I'm not a coward.
Without the inside information.
Yeah, John Olakowski getting blocked.
Hey, but look though, I was in the same boat as Devin, right?
Because look, we have to have some substantive conversation. We can't just be yelling across the yard.
Yeah.
We gotta have to have some substantive conversation. So what I said was, I had some conversations with folks inside to lead me to believe he was leaning that way. Plus, just the flow of the game. I mean, they put him out there to have him throw some passes down the field. I mean, all the
Wait, you said they put him out there to throw some passes down the field? Is that what you said? Because some would imply that there was more than one.
They put him out there the next series and had him throw some passes. Okay. And it was like, it leads you to believe, and that series kind of led me to, okay, this is a sign that they're going to have him be the quarterback. And then the post-game interview, they're talking like,
Sam, can I say something real quick before you get past that? You said they put him out there to throw some passes. The whole first drive, they ran the ball every single play. Hold on. And then the second drive, he threw one pass down the field.
He threw RPO pass too.
That was on that. Yeah. Okay. I'm sorry. He just said RPO pass. Okay. 2 passes, an extension of the run game that was behind the line of scrimmage. My bad.
Right.
Okay. Some passes implies that he dropped back and threw the ball.
Okay.
Right.
Anyway, and then after the game, you put these together, and then I had some conversations. After the game, led me to believe it was leaning that way. But as you said, and this what made me not say it was definite, because you say, hey man, they told you.
They lied right to your face.
They told you during camp, hey man, it's gonna be Alex. I was like, you right, Devin. That's why I'm not so certain that is locked in, because you're right. They were saying halfway through camp it's over. So let me pump the brakes until I'm told for sure that it's going to be him. I'm not going to say it's locked in because I hadn't been told.
That's not going to stand up in court.
But I think based on everything that I heard to this point, I think it's going to be him.
That's not going to stand up in court, Sam. The only reason, Sam, you saying that you didn't have inside trade information is because they lied to your face last time. And this time you didn't trust them much. That can't stand up in court, Sam. You got inside trade information. Whether they lying to you all the time or not, it's not my problem.
Because I had not been told by the head man himself, had not said to me, it's going to be him. And not only me, look at the press conference. The players were like, hey, man, this is the first we heard that
that he going to even get a chance.
He about to be this. I mean, the players were in the press conference said, we didn't know Alex was going to start. Yeah, y'all telling us. He hadn't even told the team that Alex was going to start. So you mean to tell me I had been told the news before the team had been told the news, Devin Gardner? Is that what you're telling me right now?
Hey, he must have been watching the show, because I'm talking about as soon as Devin said it, 45 minutes later.
Hey, you know what another theory could be, guys? You know what another theory could be? So obviously I have all the receipts of me saying something and then them doing exactly what I said it should do. Saying something and then them doing for years, right? I think they I'm sick of them. I'm sick of him being right all the time. So we're going to give him we're going to make sure he's wrong this time on the fact that he's going to start. Not knowing, that's my initial point to begin with. He should have been playing and having the opportunity to play to show what he has.
Yeah.
So listen, we don't disagree. We don't no.
We do disagree on one thing. You definitely got inside trade information.
Oh my God. This is true. Listen, I did not have the information that he was going to start.
All right, Sam. All right,
I had information that led me to believe that was.
All right, Sam. We believe you. Daniel, look at me. All right, Sam. We believe you. Hey, Sam, don't look, Sam. Daniel, look at me.
If you suspected that might be the case, why the hell would you be so? Why would you have?
I don't care.
Why would you be so sure?
First of all, I made it very clear. I'm cool with being wrong. I just be right all the time.
You're gonna be so disappointed, Sam. We're gonna have to wipe those tears, Sam.
That's what I said.
Yeah, Sam. We're gonna have to check those drawers, Sam.
I mean, say that now. You taking it too far. Hold on now.
Yeah,
I ain't say that about that man's draws. Daniel, he lying now, boy. He a liar. I ain't say that about that man's draws.
What?
Sam tripping.
What did he say?
All right. Let's get to the business though. I'm excited, right? Because we're joking and it's all fun and all that, but a kid is getting an opportunity. Yep. I just hope that they put him in the best position at all times, right? We can't go run because we've already seen, and Sam, you know the stats on it. 23 times 2 weeks ago, they ran it, or a week ago, or whatever it was, they ran into a box that wasn't loaded and couldn't run the ball effectively, right? So if we go run, first down, second down every time, we're going to be in third and long or third and longer, right? It could be third and 10, third and 8, third and 9, or it could be third and 13 if we have negative plays, right? So I just hope that we don't roll out that predictable style of play, because we don't know if Alex Orji can be J.J. McCarthy on third and long. We don't know if he's going to be able to make the play to get the ball down the field in his first opportunity, right? I'm telling you right now, to start the game, he's going to be so excited. I'm talking about the juice will be it'll be flowing so much just because he has waited his entire, everybody's thinking, oh, he's waited 3 games. He's waited all season. He's waited his entire life for a stage and opportunity. I'm telling you right now, CBS, Brian Jones called me. He said, hey, man, where can I get my haircut in Ann Arbor? They're bringing the studio crew in, right? This is a huge deal for CBS and getting a chance to host this game with their new deal in the Big Ten, right? 2 powerhouse brands, USC, Michigan football. This is a huge day. You see Michigan striping the stadium. Never seen them do that before. They are bringing out all the stops, right? So all that pressure, not to mention, he's wanted to play. Everybody's been clamoring for him to have an opportunity. Some people said he should have been a rightful starter from the beginning with. I've never said that. Not one time. Check the record. I've only said they should have competed and they should have gotten equal opportunities in the game to show who's the best quarterback. But most of the country, NCAA, the video game, had him as a starter. Right? So he's been waiting for his entire life to have this opportunity. He is going to be juiced up. The other players are going to have to help him. Right? Some throws might be a little strong to begin with, right? Until he gets his feet wet. They're going to have to make some plays and help him out. And the coordinator is the most important person in all of this, because you have to find a way to keep him comfortable. The one cool thing that I've been watching film this week, because I got Illinois and Nebraska. Everybody knows Dylan Raiola, the young quarterback in Nebraska, right? Playing extremely well. And so I just saw the highlights and everything. He's making some cool plays, arm angles, all that kind of stuff. But when you go watch the entire film, their coordinator is putting him in the best position at all times. I'm talking about they are helping, and obviously you should, even if he's not a young guy, but as a young guy, you have to make sure that you are putting him in the best. Treat him like he's your son and you want him to succeed, right? Put him in the best position possible, and he's able to have great success at Nebraska because of that. And now he's got a confidence that maybe they can take the kind of training wheels off and let him really go out and get it done just because he's played so well. Orji doesn't have that confidence yet. He's confident in his strength and his speed and all these different things, but he's not confident in those things in that arena. And everybody in the chat, you may think, oh, it's just football. He's been training and whatever. I've said it over and over again. State Street and Main Street are 2 different places. Even though they're very close, they are 2 different places. And for him to have the confidence to perform at the level he's capable of, he has to get his feet wet. He has to go through and have some success. And it's up to the coordinators. And I'm going to say coordinators because I hope that Sharon is helping in on this, because he's the veteran elder statesman in the group, making sure they put him in the best position possible to have success at every turn, creating completions. Because I'm just telling you right now, they're going to see some stacked boxes, right? They are going to have opportunities with one-on-ones, soft coverage from the defensive backs to throw quick curls, to throw hitches, to get the ball down the field with one-on-one coverage and give these receivers a chance to make a play, because they're going to be honing in on the fact that you haven't let him throw. So obviously he can't do it, right? They're going to stack that box with safety. Safety's low. Linebackers got their ears pinned back. They're going to have some easy opportunities for him to complete passes downfield to build that confidence. I hope they take advantage.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. I think that as we look back over the first couple of games and, the way that they decided to lean into Davis and give him his shot, I don't disagree with how they chose to, I don't disagree with sticking with your guy. Okay. But I think you can stick with your guy and also get your other guy ready for this scenario that your guy didn't work. Because what happens is your guy, when your guy didn't work, your other guy isn't as ready as he could have been. Because he hasn't had as many reps throwing the football as you would have, as many reps doing anything for that matter, as you would have liked for him to have coming into this scenario.
Of course.
But it is what it is. It is what it is at this point. And I think even without those reps, he presents possibilities for this offense that are exciting.
Yeah.
I mean, I can't guarantee you that those possibilities are going to be realized, but I do think that the possibilities are going to manifest on the field as opportunities that we haven't seen. And a perfect example was that shot play. Like, they bust out some RPO. Even with Davis in the game, it was good to see them bust out some RPOs. Because with the way teams are going to play, especially with Alex in the game, and Vance highlighted this is an important note. If they run, 6-7 RPOs with Alex in the game, because it has to be on the menu. You gotta understand, people. Gotta be on the menu. Because it's such a dynamic weapon with Alex Orji in the game. And if he can capitalize on a couple of them, these safety, the elixir, and Vance pointed out, he said, what teams do, they're going to give you quarters coverage. They're going to give you quarters. This is how teams start to try to defend.
Big Samaj in the chat. Sorry to interrupt. Big Samaj in the chat.
Yeah.
Big Samaj in the chat.
This is how they start to defend RPOs. And they say, okay, we're going to trigger hard with these safeties, which is what you saw Arkansas State do. Mm-hmm. And when your safeties start triggering hard
in that sprinter stance before the snap even start,
hey, your corners, that's basically zero right there.
That's zero. Yeah.
Your corners.
And explain what zero. Zero means that there are no safeties back to help, right? So when you throw a post, there is no safety to contend with. You can throw it far and allow that receiver just run away from a corner, which is unstoppable. I'm telling you, I don't care who the corner is.
So there will be some opportunities. Now, he has to hit them. The first thing he has to do is hit some RPOs. It's the first thing he has to do. And then once he hits some RPOs, they're gonna have to call some shots, and he's gonna have to hit a couple shots.
Hey, question. I'm sorry to interrupt you, sir. I'm listening to y'all talk about scheme and what they can do and what. But if we can sit here and talk about this during our show, right? I'm pretty sure USC coaches are thinking the same thing. Do you think they'll give him those looks?
No, I'm gonna tell you right now. I had, who was it earlier this season? It was New Mexico versus Montana State, right? Montana State has a quarterback he's primarily a runner, has developed and gotten better as a passer. He's a senior guy, just not a great passer. Talking to New Mexico's defensive coordinator, he said, we're going to give him all those outside throws. Literally, we're going to have our DBs back and stack the box, right? And this is a guy that in the FCS has done a good job. Even as a passer, he's developed. He's not great, but he didn't believe that he could pass at the level he needed to really, truly hurt the defense. We'll give up some completions, but you can't consistently do this, right? And so we get in the game, and he's doing it. I'm talking about just giving him hitches, curls, everything outside, and he's missing, right? He missed a few, he hit a couple, and it's like, hey, 50%, we'll take that. And then the end of the game came, right? That was the game plan. The end of the game came, and Montana State is in 2 minutes to go down and win the game. They drove, I think it was 75, 80 yards. And he played that same way. He didn't believe he could do it. And he completed them all the way down the field until he gets in the red zone, and then he runs it in and scores a touchdown, right? And so that once a defensive coordinator sees on film who you are, they believe and they have a plan, they're going to stick with that plan, because overhauling the plan, it makes the defensive players less courageous, right? Wait, why are we overhauling the whole plan? I thought you said this is what it was. We worked all week on this, right? And so I guarantee you there are going to be a ton of opportunities for him to get easy completions. He has to make them consistently, and he'll be able to have a good game.
Listen, he's going to have to, you heard me stipulate that he's going to have to show that he can actually hit some of these RPO throws. Go back to the Georgia game. My man Stetson Bennett must have completed 13 RPO throws in the first half. I mean, it was a clinic.
I mean, the people at home, and you see this all over college football when teams do well with duo and counter, the answer is to meet those linemen in the hole with your linebackers, right? Because if you bust it up from the beginning, when you get that guard or that tackle pulling, then the other guy has to either bubble around or try to squeeze through, and there's nowhere to go, right? And so when you do that with your linebackers, though, you sacrifice an area, and that's what the RPO kind of attacks. And what Sam is saying, if those linebackers start that game flowing fast, trying to stop the counters, the duos, all those different things, and he can hit some of those behind, now doubt creeps in for those linebackers. Do they hesitate before they go meet those offensive linemen? If they hesitate for a second, now they set up what we call winner blocks, right? Opportunities for them to be perfectly aligned so that the lineman can get up and block them easily, right? And now you got Donovan Edwards, you got Khalil Mullings with space, right? Yeah. With space to run. So if he can hit those, it's gonna be trouble.
Yeah, and the thing about him that's different than Stetson Bennett and different than Davis when he ran, because Davis hit RPO to Colston, is he's another threat on the RPO because he could take off and run.
He can Stetson got busy too running.
I guess but not
got
like,
busy.
Not like
got busy.
Not like this cat.
I think it's gonna be similar. Stetson was getting busy running that rock. I'm sorry.
I think this dude is a little bit different. But again, I don't know that he's gonna be able to hit those consistently. This is a great unknown. This is what we have to see. This is what he's gonna have to show USC, and then we have to see how many of those they're gonna call, because Michigan has not been an RPO team. For them to call 2 in a game is like, wow, they called 2 RPO in a game. You know what I'm saying?
If he goes out and he's able to do the things we're talking about, this could be one of the greatest stories that I've ever seen. Just because we know so much of what's going on in the inner circle of it, kind of, where he just didn't get an opportunity. There's no other way to put it. He was unfairly not given an opportunity in game action to earn the job. And for him to come out without having any real game action of RPO, downfield passing, anything like that, even running multiple times in a row, if he's able to go out against a good football team, a good defense, and a great offense and perform, oh my gosh. You know my gosh.
You know what it's like to me? You know how,
oh my gosh.
You know how when you go to these camps, how in a camp, you know, you can't really judge a running back. Because you can't tell
his break tackle ability, all that.
Because you can't really tell how good a running back.
His real vision.
Yeah, you can't feel that out in a camp because it's touch. It's not real football, right? So you can't get a real feel for how much they really bring to the table. How much they really impact and affect.
I love where you're going with this.
So
Go ahead.
You don't get a full appreciation for all the things that Alex Orji is going to bring to the table. And when you compare him to, say, Davis, and this is not taking anything away from him, but if you're in practice and it's, you know, and we're looking at completion percentage, right? And we're looking at that as a stat, and quarterbacks aren't live.
You know, you can't see the full complement of his skill set.
It's one of those ways where one stat can be inflated, or what the sort of the production of one can be inflated, and the production of another can be
diminished.
Yeah. Right? So I think it sets up for it sets up for a scenario where Alex Orji could really come in and be very impact. I'm not saying it's going to work out this way. We don't know, but it could be where he comes in and presents a major spark.
You know what, Sam?
Maybe it doesn't work out that way, but it's not an impossible scenario that he does.
Sam, I'm gonna do this right now, and I usually, sorry, Daniel. I usually, I'm on the table, right? I'm the first guesser, and like I said, I'm always comfortable being wrong. I just always be right. I'm gonna get on the table right now. I'm telling you right now, the offense is gonna look, one, significantly better. Two, I think he's gonna play well. Now, what is well? Is he gonna throw for 300 and rush for 150? Probably not. Could he? Yeah. I don't think he is, though, right? But I think he's going to show a real control of the offense that suggests he should have been the quarterback from the start, because of the point that Sam just made, that when you're in practice and the quarterbacks aren't live, you can't see his full complement of skills. You can't see what he's truly capable of. I think that this kid is motivated. I think that he has a burning fire inside of him that is going to almost will him to having a nice day on Saturday in front of the entire country, because everybody wants to see it. Everybody that's been playing NCAA and saw it come out, and they've been using Michigan, and number 10 has been the court. They can't wait to see what he's capable of. And like I said, CBS is bringing everybody to the show. I am so excited to see, and I think I'm on the table right now. He will play well. He will execute in those RPO opportunities, and he will execute in those easy opportunities to pass the ball when they give him free access on the outside.
Yeah, my concern is the lack of reps.
Stamp.
Yeah, my concern is the lack.
It's a concern for me as well.
Yeah, but he's been in the program for 3 years, so he's been in the system for a while, practicing every day. He played big time high school football. I hope he does well being a DFW kid, man. I want to see him go out there and play well and put on the show. And I think that the coaching staff having familiarity with USC's defensive scheme will help him as well, right? I think that's they run a similar scheme to Michigan that he practices against every day. So hopefully that they're able to put him in good positions to be successful.
Yeah, it's gonna be. I think it is gonna be a collaborative effort, because the running game becomes so much more. Calling the running game becomes so much more a part of what you do with Alex Orji as the quarterback, because and I talked to Borges about this. I mean, I highly suggest you watch the breakdown. It's not like they're implementing new plays, but the frequency with which you run the certain plays, and then how often you want to use those plays. You got to keep all this in mind, in knowing that Alex is going to take off and run some of these plays. He said he had to keep this in mind with Dennard. Like, how often are you going to call quarterback runs when you know that Alex is going to have some improv plays too? You got to keep in mind how much of a pounding you're going to have your quarterback take, because he's going to have 5, 6, 7 improv runs.
Hey, Sam, the one thing I want to say, I want to be completely honest, I don't think they care about that, because they didn't want him to be the quarterback anyway. They don't care about that. And that's something that after he proves that he's the guy, right? After he plays well, that's something they visit in the future. But for this game, I don't think they care about that, because they never believed he was the quarterback anyway.
So what do you mean by that? When you say that, they didn't want
he's the quarterback now because they have no other choice. You can't keep trotting a guy out there that's turned the ball over the way he is. And so, and not only that, an improving guy, a guy who has done nothing for Michigan football. And this is not to say he hasn't helped in practice and whatever the case may be. I'm saying in the grand scheme of things, fans look at Davis Warren as a guy who is just a player who's never done anything for Michigan, right? How can you continue to trot him out there with no proven track record of success when he's struggling so bad, right? You can't do that. So their hands were tied. That's the only reason you make that announcement on Monday, right? Your hands are tied. You have to do something to create a spark with the fan base who's very angry about it, and to help your team who looks very unmotivated by the performance of the quarterback. So I don't think that they necessarily want Orji to be the quarterback. Let's be clear. They are doing this out of necessity because they had to.
See, I guess I see it different, because like I told you, 2 weeks through camp, all I heard was Alex is going to be the guy.
Yeah.
That's all I heard. Like he's gonna be the guy. And then suddenly after that, it was Davis is gonna be the guy. And that's when all the passing percentage stuff started coming up. And so the way I interpret that is I think that there was a desire that, and I think this is largely a product of, as you look at the vision that of the offense, and you can call it Kirk Campbell's vision of the offense, to a balance, a vision of balance, and what it's going to be long term. Having a quarterback who has a high passing percentage is a part of that. And I think Davis's high passing percentage, as you got deeper in camp, I think maybe it started to work on. Oh no, let me finish. I think it started to work on Alex's a little bit, to the point where he started pressing.
Yeah,
and I think it started
doing things maybe that that's not his skill set.
Right, and I think it started to make him press a little bit, to the point where he started to take a dip. He started to take a dip in his passing percentage, and it started to affect him some. And so people around were seeing that. But if you're valuing the other pieces of what he brings to the table in the way that we're talking about, ways that you can't really quantify statistically in practice,
that's why you need to play in the game.
That's
why they both need to play in the game.
It doesn't swing the pendulum as wildly
as
it does, right? But it swung the pendulum as wildly because, like I said, I think the vision of balance that they want to have as an offense kind of skewed to say, okay, we can have what we had last year because, hey man, this 87% completion percentage. We can achieve some of what we had last year. They got in games and realized, well, no, we can't. We can't do that.
Yeah.
Alex was looking good. He was actually doing some good things. He was completing some balls in practice. Let's see if we can recapture what he was actually doing in practice, throwing the football. Oh, by the way, he was doing some dynamic things with his legs and affecting some things. You talk to the defensive guys.
They thought that he for sure should be the guy.
They thought, there's no question. There is no question. Now, I will stand on the table with that right now. The defensive guys were like, oh, yeah.
Hey, Ben, can you put up this comment from X, the Prince X? And because this is the problem, and this is what the coaching staff saw. It says, dude, no interceptions. He just went 11 for 11 for 122 yards. But it was interceptions, crazy. What are you talking about? What are you talking about?
Yeah, you can't.
Yeah, if you take interceptions away, he was 11-11 for 122 yards. But that's not how football works. I don't know if you know that or not. I don't think you understand that that's not how football works.
You can't do that.
You don't take away, like, especially the ones we saw. Those were bad interceptions.
You can't.
Hey, one thing I will say, to chime in real quick, I'm not excited about the two biggest games of the year we played so far, Texas and now USC. We're starting guys that haven't played since high school.
It's true.
Like that's a scary thought. Like having been a player and the coach before, if I'm a defensive coordinator getting ready to play Michigan, and I can think of all the scenarios of that, what it could be, right? You could have a top 10 pick in J.J. McCarthy at quarterback. You could have anything in between, right? We have guys who literally their first start since high school is against Texas and now USC. That's why I was kind of with Devin from the beginning about, hey, don't throw him out there against USC, right? The guy that actually has big game starting experience at this point is Davis Warren. So if you're going to make the change, like Saturday is going to be what it's going to be. Maybe go with Davis Warren, and if you have to make a change in game, cool. But eventually, like, if you're going to make the change, I don't think this week was the week to do it.
You just said,
what's done is done now, right?
But you just said last week you was talking about Jaden Davis. You was like, wait, when the opportunity presented itself, you just take it.
Yeah, but it's not time. It's not time for the freshman yet. I'm saying if I'm the freshman, I'm looking at what's in front of me and looking at the mess in front of me. Like, shit, I want to play now. That should be him and his camp's thing. Like, now I want to play. I came to Michigan to play, not sit on the bench. But as far as the guys that are actually in the mix right now, That's kind of scary. Like Jane Davis' last high school start was last year.
Yeah, well,
These last high school start was 7 years ago and 4 years ago. That's a big difference.
You can't do that if you Sharon Moore. You can't. You want your team to go out and feel like they have a chance to win the game, the best chance to win the game? Do you want your team to go out and feel like they had the best chance to win the game? Yes or no?
Yeah, 100%.
For sure.
Then you better send Alex Orji out there then.
Yep. And like that's what I said. They're going to be completely motivated.
Maybe for morale. Sure.
But Daniel, also think about the defense has shown a lot of chink in the armor. And remember before the season started, I talked about this. I said it's tough when you're a defense. Sam, maybe this was just me and you having a conversation, to watch your offense not get first downs and still play motivated. It's tough. As much as everybody believes that's just how it should be, you just go out there and you just play hard all the time. And not saying they're not playing hard, but the motivation just isn't there when you know you're going to be back out on the field. Nothing's happening on the other side of the ball. Now that they're getting the thing that a lot of them wished, a lot of them, like Sam said, the defensive staff, not only them, the defensive players, because when you're a defensive player, you get a different view. Like, he's a problem to deal with because of his ability to run and throw, right? And as much as everybody's saying, oh, he can't throw, none of us know that for a fact. The people that do know if he can throw or not is the people in that building. And no defensive player and coordinator is going to say, yeah, he should be our quarterback even though he can't throw. That's not how it works. So stop listening.
I can tell you unequivocally.
I know I went and watched them practice, so I can tell you unequivocally too that he can throw. I can tell you
unequivocally that the consensus of the defense is Alex Orji.
100%.
I can say that 100%.
And because of that, there is no way you're saying a guy that only can run, I want him to be our quarterback. That's not how it works. So, and if you believe that, you're crazy.
At the same time, I don't know if it's going to work. I don't know if it's going to work. And the reason why I am so uncertain is because the reps.
Yeah, it's tough.
He just lacks reps.
I'm on that table though.
So
you know me. Well, I'm on that table. He's gonna play well. He's gonna play well.
You were on the table saying he wasn't gonna start too. So
you had inside trader information. So
I did not have inside.
We're not gonna keep going back to that.
I did not. I just had to bring it up.
Okay, so Sam, let's think about this. Since you brought it up, let's think about this. How many takes have I had about Michigan football in the last 3 years?
I mean,
over 100, maybe 1,000. How many?
We talking about right now.
No, I'm asking you a question. Can you answer the question? Can you answer the question? How many takes?
We are talking about right now.
Can you guesstimate on 3 years how many takes you think?
How many takes were you so sure? So sure. You so standing on the table. Like, not hell. It wasn't just the table, like I said. It was like
out of hundreds? Out of hundreds?
I mean,
out of hundreds?
This was the strongest take you've ever had.
And this is and let's be clear. Okay, Sam, but let's be clear. Is this about what's going on the field, or is this because I don't believe a coach has the courage to make a decision? It's totally different. Because about football stuff, there's been 0 times wrong. And when we say over hundreds of takes, I'm out. Let me say what I'm saying. Hundreds of takes. I'll take one wrong when it ended up being right anyway.
Hey, Ben, can you come on and just sing A Man with Sensitivity? That way we can.
I'll take one. Hey, Sam, I'll take one wrong when it means you're doing exactly what I said you should do from the start. I'll take one wrong over hundreds.
Hey, Dan, you sing A Man with Sensitivity. Can you sing it down?
I need a man with. I sweat.
I take it every day of the week. Hey, but wish they can be as right as me.
No, but I agree. I agree with you. I agree with you. Starting him against USC feels like a correction of a mistake that was made.
They have to. They just covering their butt.
Don't correct mistakes. So Nick Saban's not supposed to correct his mistake last year.
No. But the thing is,
Nick Saban made a mistake when he benched Jalen Milroe.
Sam, you know that's a totally different scenario. That's a totally different scenario, Sam. That's wrong. You're wrong.
If it goes wrong with Alex Orji, fellas. Hold on, Sam.
Mistakes. Coaches make mistakes.
Totally different.
Hold on, Sam. But the thing is, if you mismanage this weekend with Orji and things don't go well, now you've lost both of them.
So, but wait a minute. So I said from the beginning, I said from game one, I think
you got that from me.
Man, dog, your arm should be broken by now. It really should.
You got it from me. I'm just making it clear.
I mean, your arm, it don't hurt. Your arm don't hurt.
No,
Your arm
never.
don't hurt.
It will never.
It should be fractured.
No, it will never hurt.
It must hurt. I mean,
it will never hurt.
How does your arm reach? I mean, how does your arm reach?
Never,
like that?
never,
It's
Sam.
amazing that your arm reaches back.
It is amazing.
I said from game one. I said every game, it's a mistake to not be giving Alex snaps. It's a mistake.
Yes.
Be playing him one snap at a time. You heard me say this in every video to the point where people are coming on. Why are you talking about? Why are you talking about? Stop talking about. I mean, listen, I'm going to keep, no matter what y'all say to me, no matter how often y'all keep telling me y'all don't want to hear it, I'm going to keep saying I think this is a mistake to not be giving Alex snaps. He presents a threat. He helps the run game, and you have to get him ready, even if it's just to be the backup. But I think you need to get him ready in case he needs to be the guy, because I think he's going to probably need to be the guy. And now look at where you are. He needs to be the guy. So now you're in a situation where he is the guy. He doesn't have those reps. That was a mistake. But Nick Saban made a mistake last year. He made a mistake last year when he benched Jalen Milroe for a guy who was a lacrosse player. And you know what he did? He didn't lean in to keep playing a lacrosse player. He said, you know what? I made a mistake. Let me go back to Jalen Milroe. So what is he supposed to do? Compound a mistake and keep leaning into that other guy? No, he said, you know what? I made a mistake. Let me go back. Let me correct that mistake. This is a correction, or at least an attempt at a correction. Why can't you, if you're a coach, say, I made a mistake, let me try to correct it? What's wrong with that?
With Daniel, firstly, the balance thing is a totally different scenario. But the thing that Daniel's saying is, why did you not make that correction 2 weeks ago? That's what he's saying. And Daniel not saying he shouldn't play still. He's just saying, like I talked about, it's irresponsible, right? Why didn't you make that correction 2 weeks ago? Or not even 2 weeks ago. How about a week ago? You play a half, you play a half, or you play this game. Like that's what Daniel was saying. But for Alabama, it was totally different. Jalen Milroe had already played a game, and they benched him, and he had game experience. He had played the year before where he played multiple snaps and threw the ball down the field, all those different things. It's totally different.
Okay, so.
And Nick Saban has shown that he doesn't have too much pride.
So listen, you're talking about a seasoned coach making a mistake and correcting it sooner than a first-time coach. Okay. So the first-time coach made the mistake longer than the seasoned coach. All right.
No, so this is how it should have in the ideal world.
That's weak.
Hold on, DG. As a coach, if I'm sitting here looking at the situation, we go into the first week. They both get complete series to continue the competition against live competition, right? You pick a starter, go into this Texas game. That player plays. If he doesn't play well, cool. You bring another guy in. But against Arkansas State, you should have had your starter determined by Arkansas State. That way you can go out and that guy can get reps.
Y'all talking to me like I wasn't saying that.
Well, you're the person you're the lawyer right now for the situation.
And I'm saying
we have to talk to you like that.
No, I'm saying it was a mistake. And I'm saying, okay, now he's looking to correct that mistake.
Well, stop making it a singular mistake. It's three different mistakes then.
Okay, but now you're saying that he's correcting that mistake is a problem. Why is that he's correcting that mistake now a problem?
Oh.
That's crazy. It seems like you're committed to misunderstanding us. That's ridiculous by you, Sam.
Because we played 4 games, Sam, because we played 4 games, and in both games, the starter hasn't started since his sophomore year of high school, the first game, and now the other one that hasn't started a game in 4 years. That's not ideal going in college football.
Okay, we agree on that.
Right. But we're explaining to you why it's a mistake to mismanage the quarterback situation, because now you put yourself, like you said, Orji gives us the best chance to win. Yeah, he gives us the best chance to win because of the situation we're in right now.
We said that 30 minutes ago.
Yeah. But we still explaining it to you. You still act like you don't understand.
One rep throwing down the field is a mistake.
Sam, like
What
I
else
said, you're committed to misunderstanding, because I think even in the chat, it's very clear that while we do believe it's irresponsible to wait this long for him to get an opportunity to play 4 or 5 plays in a row against USC, a really good team, while we do believe it's irresponsible, we understand this wasn't a correct. You're acting like they corrected this mistake because they just wanted to. They had to. They had to. There's no other way. And even though you had inside trade information, whether you did or not, it's cool. I said whether you did or not, I gave you some little whatever. Whether you did or not, you were saying, oh, they have to make this decision. They have to. There's no other way. And that goes to show this wasn't a desire for them to have Orji as the quarterback, or they would have gave him reps. They had to do it. They had to. And what Daniel was saying, and I kind of share the same sentiment. Yes, you mismanaged it for 3 straight weeks. Don't act like it's just one mistake. You mismanaged it for 3 straight weeks, or 4, however many weeks. Actually, since camp. Let's just say 12 weeks. You mismanaged it for 12 weeks. How about that? That's not one mistake. That's a bunch of mistakes. Now, are we happy and cool with him fixing it? Of course, because something had to happen. But that doesn't mean he's going to get a pass for just blindly throwing Davis Warren out there without a true competition in live action.
It's not just Davis Warren. They made judgments at other positions that have been really bad so far. So, like, come on, Sam. You got to see this.
Like what?
I don't know about that part, but I'm just saying with the quarterback. I stick to the quarterback thing.
No, I'm saying so. The right tackle played well.
He hasn't played great. No, not at all. Not close.
So that's another position where there was a position battle, right?
Who'd you put there?
Huh?
Who would you put there?
I don't know, but if a guy's not playing well, you got to give the other guy a chance. This is Michigan, right? Every day recruit at a high level, right? These guys are all coached in the same. They're all.
That guy went in there.
Hey, man,
that guy went in there
as a coach. If I got a position group
last week, and was one of the highest graded offensive linemen in the game.
Okay,
put there.
And when I watched him against Colin Simmons the week before, he was
struggled. He struggled. And they had 34 drop back.
Is that Link? Is that Link?
Yeah, and you had 34.
Now Daniel Link. Now, granted, it was against Arkansas State, but Link did play better for sure.
He played much better.
Yeah, I'm not saying that. I don't care about Arkansas State. When we play Texas, we play USC, we play Oregon. Okay.
Don't drop. This gets back to my point. They had 34 drop back passes against Texas. You put them in a position where you're gonna be throwing the ball around the yard. This offense,
football. You losing. You gotta throw the ball. That's football, right?
That's true.
This is not an offensive line that is going to hold up where you're asking them to step back there and be in pass pro. A lot of the situation, ask them to run block, so they got a better shot.
Sam, I got a question.
And so you look at in the last game, and I'm going to hold this up as an example, not to pick on somebody, but so who are you going to put in instead? So Khalil Mulling.
I don't know. I'm not going to say like I know the depth chart. I'm just saying as a coach, if I have a guy, I'm at a high level, Sam, and I have a guy that's not playing well, I got to give the guy behind him a chance to see what he can do too.
Questionable decisions. So I'm going to give you a concrete example.
Man, like I don't want to make this about these kids because they all Michigan kids and I love them and I want them to do well. But Sam, he had a 0. Come on, man.
I'm gonna give you an example. So can we not give examples?
Go ahead.
Bill Mullins' touchdown. It is a duo read. So he starts left, he comes back right. They using an extra tight end. The extra tight end is an extra offensive lineman who is one of the backups for Evan Link. I won't even say a name, but I'm just telling you, it's the guy who Evan Link is competing with. His job is to go out and get the linebacker. So this is a guy he, physically overmatches. He goes out to get the linebacker, and he doesn't get the linebacker on the play. Linebacker beats this block clean. Now, fortunately, Khalil Mullings runs right through the tackle.
Yeah.
I mean, just breaks the tackle clean. Now, if he doesn't, this play is a tackle for loss. Khalil Mullings turns it into a 30-yard touchdown. Now, Evan Link gets his block on this play.
Yeah.
And Evan Link was, like I said, one of the highest graded offensive linemen in this game. So You can choose to take his worst day and let that be the judge, or say, hey, he had his worst day and then came back the next week, improved dramatically in comparison to the guy who is competing with him, who did not have his best day, next to the guy he's competing with who had one of his.
But the guy that didn't have his best day next to him hasn't played. So he get out there 1 or 2 snaps. It's probably with a college kid, he's probably going to mess up. That's how it works in any sport, right? So, but what I'm saying is, so you're judging him like you said his worst day. I'm not looking at his worst day because I don't want to bash the kid. I don't know the kid. I hope he does well. I hope he turns into an NFL first round pick. But against the highest level of competition he's seen thus far, Sam, it was you know what it was, right? And so now the next level that's closest to them, I'm not talking about Arkansas State. We used to go out there and play against Eastern in basketball in these small schools. You would see guys come off the bench and score 15, 17 points. And then we play against another team, a team that much higher level competition. It's a different story. They don't even play. So what I'm telling you is, judging from his highest level of competition at the sport so far, I'm a bit worried about Saturday. And that's another position where the coaches made a decision where it was 3 guys fighting for a spot. And so if the guy that won is that, then that I guess that's where we are as a program, I guess. So I don't want to, like I said, I'm trying to keep it mild because I don't want to bash kids, even though they're making money now. They're Michigan men, so I want to keep it, at a certain level. But
I mean,
it's a bit worrying.
In objective measure, which I count Borges as, said he graded out well in this game.
Okay.
Graded out well in this game. So
good job. That's a good step forward.
Yeah. So at any rate, USC, I'll give you credit for this one. Devin, you called out this USC defense being very improved.
Of course I do.
You called that out ahead of the game.
Of course I do.
So that doesn't quite make up for getting this Orji thing wrong, but I'll give you credit.
A valid point was made in the chat. Let me read it for you. Steve DeWitt, I love you, by the way. This is what he said. He said, DG's arm only hurt after being the only QB to throw for 500 yards in the game at U of M. Thank you. Yes. What is Sam talking about? That's the only time it was sore. Only time.
Hey, man, you had one of the most brilliant performances I've ever.
And that ain't my words. That's DeWitt. That's Steve. I disagree.
Brother,
I disagree.
You see
what I mean?
Hey, look, whose jersey do I have up right there?
That say Michigan on the back. That ain't mine. You pump faking, Sam. I need you to get one that says Gardner before I can give you credit.
Whose jersey do I have hanging up right there?
Michigan.
It's the only authentic jersey I have hanging up right there.
You must have went to Big Johnny house and stole it. That's what it was.
But I gotta hang it up right there, don't I? And I've been having it hang up.
Why you acting crazy like you don't know what time it is?
Since before we were doing Monday Morning Quarterback. I don't even have it up hanging up just because we doing Monday Morning Quarterback. That's how much I ride for my guy.
Debatable.
So I'm just saying. So anyway.
I agree, South Phoenix Rising. Put that man's name on there. Look at Charles WTKA. Weber got his name on his.
Hey man, that's how it came. That's how it came.
Dead wrong.
That is how it came. Like I got that right. That did come from Big Johnny.
I'm excited, man. This is gonna be fun though. I'm excited to watch this football game, man. I am hyped for Orji because, man, I don't think you understand what it's like to work so hard for. I mean, I'm sure some people in the chat do, and this is not just about football. When you work so hard for so many years for an opportunity, and either you don't get it or it doesn't go well, you know what I mean? And this is the same for Davis Warren, right? He waited a long time for the opportunity, and it sucks when it doesn't go well because that happens too. And that could happen for Orji, even though I've stood on the table and said that he's going to play well. It's a possibility that he doesn't play well. And so I feel bad for Davis, not like sympathy. I empathize with his situation of, I'm sure he prepared as hard as he could. I'm sure he did everything he needed to do nutritionally, physically, mentally, everything he possibly could to play well in a game. And in some instances, the circumstances suggested that he couldn't play well because of what other people did. And sometimes it was on him, which is how quarterbacks, that's how it happens. That's what it is. but you empathize with the fact that he gave all that and wasn't able to perform well. And on the other side, for Alex Orji, you empathize with the fact that he did everything he can. I watched an interview the other day from him after the spring, and when I tell you this kid is about as well-rounded mentally it was unbelievable. Like, it was his post-game spring speech or whatever you want to call it, press conference, and they were asking him some tough questions. He never threw a guy under the bus. It was all about we. It was all about the team. It was all about how can we get better? How can we improve? And he even spoke about things that when Coach Campbell was telling him, hey, when you drop back and it ain't there, take off a run or whatever. Campbell wasn't talking to everybody, but guess what? He made it about we. He said that we should all be that way because obviously the rest of the guys don't have that skill set. And it was so impressive to watch. And it made me empathize even more. A guy that does it right. He works hard in the weight room. He's led the team, or else the defense wouldn't look to him and say, we want him to be the guy. He's put himself out there to be successful, and then he doesn't get the opportunity. He doesn't.
He chumped Sam through text message, too. You got to add that to the list, too.
And he pulled up on Sam last week.
He ran down on Sam. How you feel
about me? Don't keep talking crazy about Davis.
Eddie ran down on Sam.
Like, as much as I was a good teammate and Dennard was a good teammate, me or Dennard not hitting up nobody on that.
Nah,
we're not doing that. Nah. That's a next level of leadership, and they should send him out for captain.
Yeah. Hey, Sam, you a nice guy for the way you handled that too, man. I got to.
He pulled up on you, Sam. Hey, cuz you gonna quit talking about my boy?
Nice guy.
Hey, like, Sam, you gonna quit talking about my boy?
Hey, young blood would have taken my phone. I would have told him go get the playbook.
Right after the game, and I'm only sharing this. Normally, I wouldn't share it because I hadn't talked to him about it, but I wanna share it because it highlights what kind of kid he is.
Yeah,
our young man he is. And then we had a conversation about it after the fact, but he had to still be in the locker room when he sent this because I hadn't even made it to the press conference yet.
He probably would have swung on you if y'all was in person, but go ahead and read it.
Right. I hadn't even made it to the press conference yet, and I got a text. He said, hey, my man, I appreciate the love and support always, but I don't really like you putting down Davis to advocate for me, especially when he's been playing good ball the past 2 weeks. Turnovers are less than ideal, but he's been operating and completing stuff at a high level. Again, thank you, just standing up for my brother.
Now, let me address that real quick, Sam. Some of that is propaganda. Watch the play. Some of that is propaganda. However, the fact that he put himself out there was amazing.
Right, right.
For sure.
I started to.
I respect it.
I started to text him because I stopped, and I was like, I don't put players down. I don't do that.
No.
I offer, and there is a fine line that I walk to offer analysis without being disrespectful, because I have too much respect for what you guys as players do and go through. Right? I have too much respect for you and what you go through to be disrespectful. Right? And I know that a lot of people in the media do the disrespectful thing for attention, for clout.
100%.
So I never do that, right? And so,
Sam, you don't need no clout, do you?
Right. So I wanted him to know that, and I started to express it. And so as I was walking and texting at the same time. I ran into his parents, and I was about to tell them. They were like, "Oh, we saw the interview with him, and we were talking about that." And he walked up, and so I pulled him to the side, and I said, "Listen."
Did he look like he was gonna swing on you first?
No, he was like, "Hey, what's up?" And I said, "Alex."
Did he say, "Hey, what's up"? Or
no,
like, hey,
it wasn't even like that. It wasn't. That's not the posture.
I just want to let you know. I wish he would have pulled up on you like that. But go ahead.
That's not the posture that he was taking. It was more along the lines of, "Hey, man, I just, that's my brother, and I just don't want it to be perceived that I got people out here, saying Alex and kind of hating on him." And I said, first of all, I don't do that. That's not how I get down. The way I operate is I have to talk about the successes and the mistakes equally. That's how analysis works. Mm-hmm. And so if I'm talking about Alex, for instance, in this context, deserving a shot, because that was the tweet that he was referencing. how I said, hey, 3 interceptions have been thrown. I think, I've been saying Alex deserves a shot, that he deserves some reps. I said, I think Alex at least deserves a shot now.
Yeah.
It's like, that's the premise here. That's the basis for saying Alex deserves a shot. I can't say Alex deserves a shot
because I like Alex.
Because I like Alex.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? I got to give a basis for that. Right? It's not like when Davis does something well, I don't say, hey, Davis threw a nice pass. I talk about Davis throwing a nice pass.
Yeah, you tweet all game. So, yeah, you do give every single time.
Davis threw a nice pass here. That was a great read by Davis. Davis threw a touchdown. I can't just talk about the interceptions and not talk about this. So I do both.
Nah, tell him what you told him next.
And I said, so if you're the guy.
Tell him about the gun line, boss.
Sam a thug, he from Flint.
Tell him about the gun line, boss.
Tell him. What'd you
say?
I
said, if you get the job and you throw a touchdown, I said, I'll say Alex Orji threw a touchdown.
And then?
And if you throw an interception, I'm going to say, and he said, Alex Orji threw an interception. I said, exactly right.
Nothing, no animosity. It's just, that's what it is. And so
how it works.
I love that I wouldn't have done that. I can tell you that for a fact. Nope. However, I want to tell you, like, I wasn't like that, but Dennard was like that. So when me and Dennard, obviously, I came in hot stuff, and Dennard was, it was me, him, Tate, or whatever. And from the start, like at the beginning, we was cool. We wasn't like the best of friends and like that, but we was cool. And he like took an interest in helping me on a level that was unlike anything I'd ever experienced or anything that I would ever reach out to do. Like he tried to help me get better so much. And it's just like, do you understand that I desperately want the job that you want? You know what I mean? And it was confusing because I grew up in the trenches, right? I grew up, in the city where it's kill or be killed. Like, it's not like you help the dude that's trying to take your job. Like, that's crazy. Like, if I'm the CEO and I'm young, why would I make sure that this other kid can be the CEO over me? You know what I mean? Kind of like against his own best interest. He was helping me on a level that was unbelievable. And it forced me to move into like doing the same for him, even though I desperately want his job, right? And in that relationship and bond that we built, it was crazy, but it was all because of him. It like I had nothing to do with it. Like he forced me to be that way. And so when you fast forward to when he's gone and whatever, I had to do that, right? It just was in me to do that with younger guys, people that want my job. You know what I mean? And for him to go out, but I don't think Dennard ever said, Dennard would never say that to the media, but I've never thought to go to the media and say, hey man, don't say this about Dennard. You know what I mean? Like that's another level of love and admiration and really just being a great teammate that he even seeked you out to let you know, hey, cuz you say that again, it's gonna be some smoke in the city. I'm telling you.
Hey, BG,
so I just thought that's
the difference in eras, because in my era, we were told not to read the newspaper or listen to the radio.
Well, you can't avoid it now. Yeah.
Now in 2024, shit, these kids, we got one of them in the chat. Like
that's his dad. That ain't Samaj. Everybody Samaj is not in this chat. That is Big Samaj. He got the same name.
Even the parents, you know what I'm saying? Like it's just a different era, bro. Like
little Samaj is crazy enough to get in this chat and say, let's go. I'm about to go crazy.
I know. We see all kind of parents. It'd be all kind of parents in the chat. We had
of course.
What parents, man?
The parents are so good these days. I love them.
Yeah, we've had all kind of parents.
Now, some get in the way, but for the most part, man, these parents are on another level. They're informed. And, a lot of it, they lean on you, Sam, and you help a lot of them out to become and make sure the kids are in the best position, all that.
Hey, I remember I was in high school. I found out my dad was in one of them chats going back and forth with people about high school basketball.
Back then, it was the blogs. It was the blogs.
Yeah, it was like the message board. Say, man, me and my dad had a long conversation. Man, don't be on the board with these people, man.
Don't do nothing else, because now you put me in a compromised position. Going back and forth. Now I gotta, you know what I mean? No, don't do it.
That's just a different era, man. I like it. The kids kind of have more control of their image and their, their brand. So
dad was in last year all the time. He was in every week.
So who's dad?
Michael Barrett's dad. He was in there.
I like Michael Barrett.
Yeah, and
I don't know his dad, but I like.
He was a baller.
Fans. He loved the film studies. because Vance would go hard. He was going hard on Mike Barrett. And he was going hard on Mike Barrett in 22. He was like, coach him up, Vance, coach him up. And so Vance, and Mike Barrett got better. I won't say it was because of Vance, but he got a whole lot better to the point.
Hey, man, Sam, you better start giving that credit to these film studies. It ain't a coincidence. I'm telling you, man. Good plan.
Hey, they be watching because I told this story too. Clink called me up one week. He said, hey, Vance got a problem with my secondary. And said, tell Clink to call me.
Pull up. Hey, you know Clink ain't playing. Pull up on me then if you got a problem.
It was hilarious, man. It was hilarious. I can tell that story now because Clink off with the Chargers. It don't even matter no more. And they won the championship.
Yeah.
So, anyway, USC, you know what they're as far as the attack plan, Vance, he sort of laid it out. He said, man, you got to blitz him. Miller Moss is not a runner.
He can move, but he's not a statue, but he's not a runner. He's somewhere in between.
Yeah, but he is very smart. He gets rid of the ball quickly, and he has weapons.
And you know what else he is, man? He was at the Elite 11 as a counselor, and this is something you don't really tell through the film, especially he's only played, 2 weeks, and, he had a bye week last week. Supremely confident, not easily shaken. I'm talking about the way he competed, because there was a Cade Klubnik out from Clemson there too, and a couple other guys. The way he competed and the level that he rose his game, but it seemed so easy to raise his level of play, and he was supremely confident about it. Like having conversations with him, man. I'm so that when I told you that he was gonna be all right, and I said the defense was gonna be all right, I had talked to him and whatever, but his confidence is the key thing, I think. And I don't know if it can be shaken, but if they can shake it, that's how you do it, right? You got to blitz them. You got to put pressure on them. You got to make them see ghosts, right? And we do have the defense that can do it. And like I said, they will be motivated, very motivated.
Yeah, can you disguise? Can you confuse him?
Because he's still relatively young.
Yes, I think it's like his fourth start. And so can you, as Wink Martindale, with a defense that you had to kind of get back to basics with a little bit, can you put some wrinkles in that can make this guy think? Can you confuse him some and pressure him some in ways that he hasn't been pressured yet? This is an offensive line that last year, Caleb Williams was running for his life.
Now, I will say this, watching that film, Caleb Williams chose to run for his life. Right? And you can see it now in the NFL because it's not working because guys are much faster. But think about every time he played a team that had pro players, he would just start moving around when guys are open, right?
Yeah.
Because I don't know if I told you this, when Daquan was at Toledo, he played a similar opponent, but USC had already played him. And even against that team, he never threw the ball on time. Right. And so if you're holding the ball, of course, the reason you don't see Miller Moss under siege as much is because he gets the ball out. Why are we holding the ball? And then because he's getting the ball out quickly on time to the right guy, it takes away the desire from the rush. Right. It takes that desire. And now we can drop back, hold the ball, and throw the ball down the field. But Caleb was back paddle, no real drop, no plan to get the ball out early, but just run backwards and see what's going to happen and make a play. And he was a great athlete, so it led him to a Heisman, but that's just not football that's conducive to success, and Miller Moss doesn't do that, right?
Yeah.
But if you can get to him and get him off timing, that will be conducive to the success of our defense for sure.
Yeah, absolutely huge if they can do it. Limit big plays. I wouldn't play a whole lot of man against this team. Zone heavy. Yeah, zone heavy game. And be willing to live to fight another day. If they get a big play, hey, just limit the damage. Bend but don't break.
Well, they got a kid named Zachariah Branch, who I think is one of the 5 best football players in America. So they're gonna have some big plays. And that's not a slight to the defense or anything.
Yeah.
That kid is electric, and we need to make sure we know exactly where he is at all times. He is a special football player, and like I said, I think he's one of the 5 best players in America.
Yeah, that's
how highly I think of him.
Yeah, that's why I'm saying, you be careful with this zone heavy game. Other side of the ball, this is one of those times where, and this is precisely the reason why I think Alex Orji is part of your elixir. You need to be able to help your defense by controlling the football, running the football. I think duo read is going to be a big play in this game. The read on the duo play, because you're adding extra gaps to your defense. This is one of the plays that's going to help you control the box. It was big in helping control the box last year with JJ. It's going to be big in helping control the box in this game. It's a stable run play, but now throwing a read on it helps you better control the box. Another play that I think is going to be huge. So Michigan is a heavy counter team, but now a counter with an RPO attached to it. Now that Michigan is doing some RPO action, because two counters in one game to me, DG, is saying that RPO is on the table. RPO is on the table. So I think this is going to be a play in this game that is going to be another box controlling play to throw an RPO on another staple run play that Michigan could maybe get some real action out of, and maybe be one of the plays where we see a shot come out of as well. I want to see I'm hoping to see in the first 10 or 15 plays of the game, DG, have Alex get a shot down the field. They need to have him throw a downfield pass early in this game. Can't be waiting, to the second quarter to have him get vertical in this game. They need to have them look over their heads early in this game, in my opinion. I think. I'm curious what you think.
Sam, I think can we get John Alikowski blocked, please? Just because I just need this done. Can we just get him blocked, please, so he can't come in and stuff?
Where is he? I don't even see the dude.
Well, just his name, John Alikowski. It's OLECHOWSKI. Let's get him blocked so we can continue the show.
Okay. I'll
let's make sure he out of there. Because he just get him out of there. First, his name is hard to say anyway.
That's crazy.
So I don't think he should be allowed to continue.
What is he, a Buckeye or something?
I don't know who he is, and it don't matter. And I just need this done.
Okay, all right.
It. Never have I done it, right? But we need to get him on out of here because he
talking crazy.
So you find him, but you find him, and I'll go ahead and do this.
I'm looking. I'm searching.
I think he with those safeties coming down, and somebody, I forgot who it was. Sorry, I forgot who it was. You made a great, I think it was Joby. Joby may be the name, made a great point. And if we look back at what the Packers did with Malik Willis last week. Now, Malik Willis can throw. He's not the greatest passer in the world, but they put him in so many advantageous positions, right? And that's what you were discussing with the duo reads and adding those extra gaps. And I know Michigan fans don't really want to hear this much, but a person that said this was Urban Meyer. Urban Meyer made this suggestion and said that Alex Orji is the best option because of the stress that it puts on the defense. And then the defense, like Sam talked about, I didn't talk to defensive coordinators or staff, but Sam did. And that's what they were saying. It just puts so much stress on what you try to do as a defense, right? And you have to add guys and take, as much as you believe in a corner that can cover one-on-one and all different things, you much rather have him have help. Even for our corner, our great corner, Will Johnson, we would much rather have him have help, though, right? We would much rather not put him on an island by himself. Now, if he's capable of doing that, we love that. That's great because now you can add guys in the box, give pressure and all that, but you would much rather be able to have guys help. So with them being forced because of the extra gaps to bring guys down into the box to help in the run game, have those linebackers trigger fast, it's going to open up some deep opportunities, some deep shots. And after last week, I'm telling you, Freddie Moore went back and watched that film and said, if I would have kept running, that's a long touchdown, right? I think these wide receivers, and we saw it earlier in the year too. Remember Morris who had the out and up, and this is why I understood that wasn't on Orji, that deep throw. That was on Moore, which is okay, and it happens. But Moore did this. Morris did the same thing earlier in the year because they didn't expect the ball to be driven down the field. He runs it out and up. He's open. He slows down. and now the ball drops and he's not there to get it, I think these receivers are going to run faster, right? They're going to give everything to get down the field and make these plays because they know that they're possible, because Orji is going to give them an opportunity down the field. And in the RPO game, with those fast trigger linebackers, when you add guys in the box and you throw those bubble screens outside, the receivers are going to have to be really good in the block game as well, right? When you throw those bubble screens and those screens, you're going to have to make sure that you stay on your block, don't hold, because you don't want to get in a position where you got a good play outside, you make yards, and then they throw a flag because you got your hands outside, and now you're 10 yards back in your first and 20. Well, now you just got to almost assume that you're probably going to punt now. You know what I mean? Just because the offensive scheme, the offensive explosiveness isn't at a point yet. Could it get there? Yes. It's not a point yet that you can afford to lose 10 yards and start the drive first and 20, because the run game is so important. So I think that there's going to be a lot of opportunities for Alex Orji to show what he's capable of. And like I said, I think he's going to exceed expectations, because I don't think people expect much of him. I think he's going to play well, controlled, and he's going to have, at the end of the game, an opportunity to win the game.
Yeah, you made a great point about the receivers blocking. That was a little iffy.
Yeah,
in this game.
4:19 p.m. If you go to the time stamp 4:19 p.m., you'll find the person that needs to be blocked. Sam, thank you.
I think Ben, did you already?
Ben might have got him.
Ben might have got him already.
Ben got me covered, so I'm sorry for even saying Sam. I forgot Ben got me covered.
And we gotta get a little NFL in real quick. We went so long with this. So here's what we got to do right now in order to segue. Right now, remember, folks, it is going to be a stripe out this weekend, and our friends at Underground Printing, they want you to know that they are your source for your Michigan apparel. Any Michigan brand apparel you might need, you can find at Underground Printing. See, we hang around at the Underground because that's our source. They are the presenting sponsor for Steady Droppin Dimes. Because, listen, we love Michigan. Michigan is our home. Michigan is their home. Come to find out, Daniel, y'all probably were around the quad at the same time.
Yep.
Come to find out, y'all might have been South Quad or West Quad, Daniel. South Quad.
That's why I was going to ask what floor on West Quad, because I was in West Quad for 2 years back then.
Yeah, you were probably around Ryan and Rishi when they were putting Underground Printing together. You probably were in the quad at the same time.
Yeah. Hey, I've shopped at the one on Southview before, so hey.
That's where the vision started, was in West Quad. Now, over 20 years later, it is a company with 26 locations across the Midwest and in the Atlantic region. But you know where their headquarters are? Right here in Washtenaw County. They didn't pick up and leave their roots. The Underground is still right here in Washtenaw County. When it came time to make the season tee, where did the University of Michigan go? They went to Underground Printing. When it comes time to get your gear for the maze out, where should you go? You should go to Underground Printing. Whenever you need Michigan gear, where should you hang out? Who should you hang around with? You should hang around with the Underground. It is very easy to remember. Undergroundshirts.com. Kind of catchy, isn't it? Undergroundshirts.com. They have brick and mortar locations, South Main, downtown, South U. So when you're in town this weekend for the USC game, you can make it to any of those locations. But if you want to order and have your gear delivered to you, very easy to do, undergroundshirts.com. You're going to be in the stadium. You want to know, should you be wearing maize? Should you be wearing blue? Just check your ticket and then go to Underground Shirts. Hey, listen, get maize and blue. No, hey, let's say you don't know. Get maize and blue. You're going to need both colors anyway, right? Get the whole selection. That way you're covered either way. Underground Shirts And Underground Printing, hey, have you covered. The entire line of gear over at Underground Printing. And listen, if you want custom printing, and I ask the people, and I'm asking the people in the chat, this is an ongoing survey. We're going to ask you on a weekly basis. Would you support Droppin Dimes gear, Droppin Dimes merch? Because we might come out with a line of Droppin Dimes merch. We talked to the crew over at Underground Printing about coming out with a line. If we get enough support, if enough people say that, yeah, we would rock some Droppin Dimes merch, we'll tell the crew over at Underground, say, let's make it happen. But right now, what we know you can get over at Underground Printing is any of your maize and blue gear, any of your Michigan brand apparel that you might want. They are your source. And Season T, your only source. They're the source for the Season T. Don't look around. Go to the Underground for the Season T. There you go. There you go.
I love the chat, man. These are people. Hey, Sam, these really are people. We should do. Are we gonna do like 10 minutes of questions for our people, man? These is our people, man. They be here with us, man, and this is good.
All right, so my Lions. I see that. I don't talk bad about the Saints because my Lions.
Them Saints looking good.
My Lions offense is looking pretty pedestrian right now. They've come out of the gates kind of sputtering. Week 1 against the Rams, they didn't run the football that well. J-Mo looked good. I mean, they just like we talked about last week. They went up top to J-Mo, and it was like, okay, that's rolling. But it wasn't really rolling with Amon St. Brown or Laporta. Running game wasn't really rolling until overtime, and they got it done in overtime, right? Then they came out last week against the Bucs. It's like, man, the first interception I get, Jared Goff, it was interference all the way. I mean, they mugged Amon St. Brown like you wouldn't believe. And this is after they called a ticky-tack. They called a ticky-tack PI in the end zone on my man Terrian Arnold, who I was just hanging with. I hung with Terrian Arnold over at UMCU. Terrian Arnold and Brian Branch, they were in Ann Arbor on Friday over at UMCU, and shout out to UMCU. UMCU, a proud sponsor of the Behind the Uniform series. And so it was over there with the crew at UMCU, and it was like, man, Terry, man, I'm a fan of what you do. This was Friday, and they were getting ready for the game, and Brian Branch, I was like, oh, bro, came in the league doing your thing. Brian Branch win the game, got him a big interception, and it was a ticky-tack. I mean, he barely grazed. He might have breathed on the receiver, and they hit Terry and Arnold with a PI, and then they come out the other way, and my man flat out mugged. He molested Amon St. Brown. Was it Amon St. Brown, or was it J-Mo who got molested on the play? Anyway, they didn't call a PI, and it wound up being an interception on Jared Goff. That's the one that you give him a pass on. But other than that, it was not a great day for Jared Goff or Dan Campbell for that matter, because Dan Campbell, he mismanaged the situation at the end of the half where he basically he called basically, what did he call it? It's like fire, whatever it is. He ran the field goal unit on the field while Jared Goff was he was going to spike the ball, and there was too many men on the field, and it was a 10-second runoff, so he cost his team a field goal opportunity. Then at the end of the game, Jared Goff has late in the fourth quarter, they're driving, and Jared Goff got pressure in his face. He throws it up in the middle of the field and gets the ball intercepted when you have an opportunity to kick a field goal with Jake Bates. And now when it's late in the game, when you're down by 4, if you had gotten a field goal earlier in the game, you'd have been setting up for a game-winning field goal instead of needing a touchdown in that situation. It's just an offense just not clicking. They were not able to dominate the line of scrimmage. This is despite Kalijah Cansey being out of the game. He wasn't playing. And then Vita Vea, he goes out at like the midway point of the game. So you're missing one of your two best interior defensive linemen, and you're still not getting any movement up front. So you aren't running the football. You're asking Jared Goff to throw the football I don't know how many times per game. Play action isn't really working. You know, it just is not the kind of well-oiled machine offensively that we saw much of last season. That's only 2 games into the year, into the season. So it's not panic time, but it's like you expected this team to really be able to take care of Tampa Bay, especially considering what they were missing up front. You expected them to be able to control the line of scrimmage, and they weren't able to do that.
But Sam,
Go ahead.
you have to realize they didn't play in the preseason, right? No starters played in the preseason. And so last year I said it was a mistake, right? And I called the preseason game. I said, I didn't say it on air, but I thought it was a mistake to not play. And I kind of use this as my barometer. If Patrick Mahomes is playing in the preseason, everybody should. Now, how much, you decide that, but you should be able to get live action reps. And it kind of goes back to what we talked about with Davis Warren, not playing in real football until the real game. It's tough. Even though these guys have played, you still need to get on that field to just oil that machine up, right? A nice watch, right? It might get stuck after years, many years. Put some oil on it. It's going to work just the same, right? Get in there and try and kind of tune up things with live action. And, they say, well, they have those joint practices and they go live. That ain't the same, man. That is not the same as a game with that stadium being packed out with that Honolulu blue. It's not the same. So I don't think it's time to panic just because they haven't played well. It's just what happens when you haven't had reps. It's like you said, it's only been 2 games, and luckily they won one of them, right? They played just good enough to win one of them. So I think they'll be fine. Obviously, things need to get figured out, but I think they just got to get back into the groove, right? Not only just the players, but the play caller, right? Ben has to get back in his groove.
Do you feel like other teams played their starters more in the preseason than the Lions did?
I don't know about all the teams. All I know is the Chiefs played their starters and the Lions didn't. And the Chiefs won the Super Bowl 2 years straight, right? So that period. And I didn't change that stance because they won the first game and played well early in the season last year. I just think it's a mistake to not play guys at all. And now, am I saying play the whole game, play a whole quarter? No, I'm not saying any of that. I'm saying you got to play some just to make sure that everything is in order with live bullets.
Yeah, my wife killing me. My wife killing me.
Yeah. Why you on it? Why you on this little screen, y'all?
That's funny. That's funny. I'm not gonna miss my gym session, woman.
All right, now don't get smacked. Don't be talking crazy. Get smacked.
Hey, woman.
Wake up. It'll be next week.
Listen. I'm disappointed because they were missing their 2 best defensive linemen. And meanwhile, did you see Aiden Hutchinson get busy?
He's getting busy.
Busy.
Definitely.
Man, they had no answer for him. No answer. Wow. I mean, he was going nuts. And then after he got his 4th sack, when I say they had no answer for him, and then the OC, he got 4 sacks in the books, DG. And then the OC for Tampa decides he's going to block him with his tight end.
Now that's irresponsible. Hey, if I'm Baker, we got to have a conversation. We ain't turning no more protection. Somebody got 4 sacks. You need to block him with 3 people. Okay. Not singular with 1 tight end. No chance.
Can we get some Devin Gardner t-shirts, some t-shirts? That's irresponsible, DG. We need some amazing blue. That's irresponsible.
I need to get because that's a lot of stuff that's irresponsible out here. That's irresponsible to be doing that.
Man, Baker Mayfield.
Hey, you might be on to something, Daniel.
Hey, listen, Baker Mayfield, though, when it counted, Baker Mayfield scrambled for a touchdown. It wasn't Baker Mayfield throwing the ball. It was Baker Mayfield with a scramble for the money that wound up being the big difference. And so Man, that was really, really clutch. And they just didn't. The Lions couldn't come up with the clutch play in this game. Like, it's too early to be concerned, but you're looking at them offensively. They got to get that run pass balance, because that's not something Jared Goff's going to do. He's not going to scramble for the money. He's not a playmaker in that way. You got to run the football. You got to set up play action. They got to get that together. Hopefully that starts this week. Meanwhile, I got to give you the floor, Daniel, because I was talking bad about your Saints.
You was talking crazy.
That's one team that they haven't been challenged offensively. Yeah, they might have put it on. They might have put it on Colorado State in week 1, but that wasn't Colorado State who they put it on in week 2. They beat the brakes off the Dallas Cowboys.
Yeah, man. I kind of had a feeling that they was going. I didn't think we were going to beat them that bad, but I thought we were going to win the game. I think a lot of people in the chat, you know, including yourself, Sam, you're not well versed in New Orleans Saints football, right? And over the since Drew Brees' second to last year, defense has not been our problem. Offense has. Drew Brees' arm or whatever didn't allow them to call plays his last 2 years. And then we struggled on offense the last DA, Dennis Allen's first few years as head coach. But the defense has always been top 5 to 10 in the league, right? And we've been winning 7 to 9 games. We even won the division. We beat Tom Brady twice with the year they won the Super Bowl. We've had some good teams, right? But offense has always been the problem. Now we have a Kubiak. We have somebody from that Kubiak-Shanahan offensive tree. He was a passing game coordinator in San Francisco last year. And it reminds me a lot like y'all the first year y'all got y'all offensive coordinator. And with the Lions, everything was innovative and fresh. And it seemed like you always caught the defense off guard, or you always out-schemed the opponent. And I think we haven't had that in New Orleans since the early Sean Payton days. So now that we have a guy that, you know, young and innovative and has all the pre-snap motions and everything that confuses defensive and defensive coordinators to go with Dennis Allen's defense, man, I'm not saying we're going to win a Super Bowl, but y'all might be coming to New Orleans for a playoff game, the Lions, later on this year.
Derek Carr playing like y'all going to win a Super Bowl.
Man, shoot.
He playing some good. I mean, I always thought he's a good player, but he playing on the next level. And obviously, Alvin Kamara is back.
Yes.
Every time he look like he jogging, he still be scoring. It's crazy.
Yeah, and
yeah, I know, right?
Y'all getting it done on defense too. Still getting it done on defense. That's the other thing to really highlight about the Saints. While the offense continues, or while the offense is really surprised, the defense has not lagged. The defense has been stellar too. I mean, up there in turnovers, getting off the field. It's been stellar so far. I mean, it's only 2 games, but you got to put some respect on the Saints' name through 2 games.
Yeah, no, Dennis Allen is a first-class defensive coordinator, or defensive guy. He's proven that over the years in the league. He hasn't been around this long, not being a top-notch defensive guy. So, man, that's all. Like I said, that's been a mainstay. That's been a constant for us over the last 3, 4, 5 years. The offense being explosive like it is now changes things.
Hey Sam, the chat want to know that code 2 straps to get discount on their shirt, their season shirt.
There is no code.
code Sam 2 straps. Exclamation point.
There is no code, but
and you put that code in, and Sam is gonna cover half of the cost of whatever you buy.
This dude be making stuff.
That's Sam's gift to y'all. He love y'all that much.
Yeah, he be
Sam 2 straps.
Number
like, 2 straps.
Kind of like he made up. I had inside trader information.
You said you had inside trader information. Everybody knows it.
There is
everybody in the chat knows you had it. It's fine.
But the Saints are one of the surprise teams. I got to give it up to them and say I did not expect to see them come out of the gate. It wasn't that they're 2-0 and that they just destroyed the Dallas Cowboys. Is that has to me is the most impressive victory of the young NFL season so far. So and then the Vikings taking care of the 49ers. That might be the second most impressive victory to me so far. So I don't know about you guys, But that's what's standing out to me. We got one more topic I want to get in. One more topic. The most surprising teams in the Big Ten. And this kind of sets up where Devin is going to be. So before we do that, Ben, because they're going to be taking me to Michigan USC this weekend, my friends at Golden Limo, can you drop that Golden Limo track? And so we can tell people about the golden ticket. People need to book their ground transportation through Golden Limo, one of our great sponsors here on Droppin Dimes and a great supporter of NIL at Michigan. They were one of their ambassadors was Will Johnson last year. One of their brand ambassadors this year is Zeke Berry. They are also one of their they're going to have a party at the end of the year. One of their contributors is going to be Samaj Morgan. Young Samaj is going to be at their postseason party. So really supporting, and then they're going to be donating to one of the collectives. So that's one of the things about the golden ticket. If you book your ground transportation, whether you need airport transport, game day transport like me, right? You need a Sprinter service for a group, like a small group, or bus transportation, whether you're traveling in Southeast Michigan, domestically anywhere in the country, or internationally. I used Golden Limo when I was in Rome, in Paris. They can book your ground transportation anywhere. If you book through Golden Limo and you mention the golden ticket, a portion of your ground transportation fee will be donated to Michigan NIL and also to a great veterans charity called Freedom River. So again, when you talk about supporting who supports you, supporting who supports the you, supporting who supports our veterans, doesn't get better than Golden Limo. Ben, would you please drop that track?
If you have ground transportation needs, get to your destination on time, every time with Golden Limo. Ride like the Wolverines. Feel like a Wolverine when you ride with Golden Limo, the proud transportation partner for many of Michigan's sports teams and the primary transportation provider for Michigan Wolverines football. All you have to do to book your golden ticket reservation is go to goldenlimo.com/golden ticket or call their team at 734-668-8282 and mention Golden Ticket to book your transportation reservations today.
All right. Yeah, that's how I'm getting to the game because my wife going out of town. She normally takes me to the game, so I got to get to the game myself. So I got to roll around like DG. You know, I'm trying to be like DG.
Hey, code the number 2 _ BOGO 2-strap Sam and make sure you get your discount.
All right, this is a marathon episode. I don't think we've ever had an episode this long. All right, so surprise teams in the Big Ten. I'm going to start off first with the Indiana Hoosiers. Y'all see what Indiana did to the UCLA Bruins last week? Stomped a mud hole in them.
Yeah.
Hey, Kurt Signetti showed up on the scene talking mad trash about everybody. He's like, hey, Michigan, they don't want a piece of us. They overrated. We got something for anybody who want a piece. And then when he got to Big Ten Media Day, he said, yeah, I had to talk like that because would you pay attention to us if I wasn't talking like that? Would anybody be talking about Indiana if I wasn't talking crazy? So I got to talk crazy for people to talk about Indiana football. People don't even know where Indiana football. Can you even name Indiana's football stadium? People don't even know.
Yeah, Sam, I'm gonna need a few more games.
Yeah.
Still, look at what they did, 42-13.
Well, UCLA not a good team,
but still, they went to Cali and beat them 42-13. When have you known Indiana to do anything like that, DG?
Yeah, I know, but you know, I gotta wait. on that. I can't get on the table on that one.
I'm not saying that they're great, but it's Indiana.
Oh, that's good. Yeah, that is good. Oh, yeah, for Indiana, absolutely. I thought you were saying they're like a contender. Like
I didn't say that. I said surprise.
Yeah,
I'm surprised that Indiana is able to go on the road and do that to any team. I
get you. They scored 77 in their first game too. So
yeah,
Indiana ain't never scored 77 in their life.
Yeah, you're going on the road to do that to another Big Ten team. Like, come on, man. Okay, MAC team, I can see you doing that too. But another Big Ten team, that surprised me.
I get that. Yeah, you're right. You're right. I mean, and if they keep playing well, I will have them this year, and that'd be hey, we'll see. I get a close up look, but right now.
So number 2 on my list is the Illinois Fighting Illini.
I knew they was gonna be good.
I didn't.
I knew they was gonna be good.
How did you?
Corey Parker over there, baby. You said how did I know? Well, I had him a few times last year, and they were so close a lot, right? Just kind of this play here, play there, quarterback sometimes got a little loose with the ball, but he's older, right? And when you have an older guy that's been there for a long time, seen a lot, and he can run and throw, right? That's a problem for defenses. They kind of supplemented some receivers they lost with some really talented kid from Ole Miss. So I thought that they would have a better offense, and their offense was pretty good last year. And then on defense, I thought they had a great scheme. They did some really good things, but the offense didn't really complement as well. Right now, they're leading the country in interceptions, or they're third in the country in interception with 6, right? And one guy had 3 of them, the DB. So I thought that they would be a really good football team. I didn't know how good, and honestly, we still don't know exactly how good. We'll see this weekend, though.
So I did not think that they would be good. I'm not a believer in Brett Bielema. I credited Ryan Walters a great deal with their success, because you look at the run of DBs that they had. You look at that defense. I thought that was all Ryan Walters. I mean, man, he had dudes, DG. I mean, and guys, you think about the guys he went and got, guys who were under the radar when he got them. Some guys he converted from, like Kirby Joseph. When he went and got Kirby Joseph was a wide receiver out of Orlando. And it was like, hey, man, you could be a great DB. And look at Kirby Joseph now. Mm-hmm. He turned him into an absolute guy. Devin Witherspoon. You man, when I first, like, who is this dude? Mm-hmm. Devin Witherspoon is guy. He turned his entire secondary into NFL guys at Illinois. Right? As good as Illinois was, and they were the team when Michigan went on that run in 22, Illinois was the team that played them the toughest in the regular, tougher than Ohio State. Mm-hmm. And I'm looking at that run, I'm saying that's not Brett Bielema, that's Ryan Walters. So when he left, like, they're gonna fall off, because they lost that talent, and they lost the architect for that rise. And so when they had last season, I'm like, that's because Ryan Walters is gone. So this year, like, I don't think it's gonna get better. Now, I love Corey, and I think Corey is an outstanding coach, and I like that he got an elevation. I think you're gonna see as he gets to a higher level how good a coach he is. I'm glad that he's getting
their DBs are so sticky, man. Watching the film, I'm like, this is good football, man. And that, I don't think it's a coincidence, right? He, like you said, him. He's been a great coach from the start.
He has been from his days at Rouge. I think Corey is a rising star in the profession. The only reason why he didn't get the sniff at Michigan, a more stronger sniff at Michigan, was because he had only coached corners, and they were looking for a coach who had coached the entire secondary, or who had track record coaching safeties too. All right, so they played the game against Kansas.
Yeah,
and I looked at it as a matchup between Lance Leipold and Brett Bielema. And
so pick Kansas, of course.
I ain't choosing Brett Bielema over Lance Leipold.
Yeah,
and Illinois won. I'm like, oh, okay. That's a surprise to me. That's a surprise to me.
And I'm telling you, they had a pick 6 in the game. I think it was 3 interceptions total in the whole game. 2 for sure. No, yeah, I think it was 3 interceptions in the whole game, and they had one that went back for a touchdown, and I think they won by 6 or 7, whatever. It was a close game, because Kansas was driving down to try to score at the end, and that defense, man, was special. And so it's still Ryan Walters' defense for reference. It's still his defense, the style in which they play, where they chase motion. and then they go drop in the zone, right, which confuses quarterbacks. So I'm really excited to see what Raiola is able to do, because when you see this defense for the first time, it's tough.
Yeah.
But once you get used to it, I guess you can play better. But that's why Michigan sometimes had trouble with them, because it's just so much. It's so much that goes on, and you got a guy running across the field chasing a receiver, and so you think you're gonna get to your best man beating route, and then they drop into a deep zone, and you're like, oh my God, what happened? So do you have enough time to do that? Is Raiola gonna have enough time? I think that's important, and they're playing it much better the way they played it with Ryan Walters, if that makes sense.
All right, and so this sets up your game that you're gonna be calling.
Yeah.
Nebraska. I guess it's not really a super surprise. You felt like Dylan Raiola is the real deal. Defensively, I felt like they were pretty solid last year, and I'm not sold on Colorado.
They were a good team last year defensively. 2 years ago, they were not. They didn't have good players. But last year, they were really good defensively, and they could run the ball, but their quarterback was the model of ineptitude. Like, he literally couldn't do it. Like, I didn't have them last year, but I had to watch film of them playing other teams, and I'm just like, he is killing me, and I'm not even you know what I mean? So he just wasn't able to have any consistency, right? And so you insert Dylan Raiola, and like I talked about earlier, he's doing special. He's doing things special because he's so young, right? And you don't expect a young guy to have the control that he has and do the things you ask him to do, but he does. But they are doing him a real service, being able to run the ball effectively, right, and protecting him when he needs to be protected, and getting him quick, easy throws for confidence. That team was ready-made for a quarterback that was serviceable. That's it. And the fact that he's able to make some off-schedule plays and do some special things makes them a really scary option in the Big Ten. I'm not gonna lie.
Yep. So they are. I guess the level to which they shut Colorado down. I got to give them that puts them on a surprise list, but I'm not surprised.
Dude, they got this D lineman, big old dude, 6'6", 310, and can move. Yeah. He's a problem inside. I'm telling you right now. When you don't got a good inside, like your offensive line, they not solid in the inside, like kind of how when I was playing. If I would have played against him, I would have had a long day. Yeah. He is a monster.
Yeah. Of course, USC, I feel like we've talked about USC a ton already. So it goes without saying that USC is on the list. What USC was able to do to LSU. I thought LSU was going to be able to walk up and down the field on that defense, and they weren't able to. And that was the story of the game. It's been one of the stories of this season, how much that defense has improved.
All these teams we talked about, the surprise teams, it's all, and for USC, they did play LSU, but it's mostly based off of, early season, didn't really play anybody. Even for Indiana that played UCLA, not a great team. Colorado's made it clear they're not a great team. And the ball started rolling. They were down 21 off the bus. So I think that this portion of the season, USC going to get against Michigan, Illinois and Nebraska clashing. I think this portion of the season is where you can see who are those real surprise teams, who's for real, and who just got great stats and did well against lesser competition to an extent. So I'm really excited. The merger for the Big Ten, this was amazing, man. It's about to get really, really good, and I can't wait. It's gonna be good. It's gonna be good.
All right. Marathon session over. It had to go long though, because Devin had
breaking news.
Well, Devin had to make his point about why he was so wrong.
Man, that was 2 minutes. What you talking about?
Hey, he got it. Hey, Sam, he got his terrorists out. Hey, Sam, you remember that scene in Get Rich or Die Trying when 50 Cent got out of jail and he was explaining, Terrence Howard explaining something to him. He said, I was wrong, but I could have been right. But because I could have been wrong, I was still right. That's the Steve Devin game.
This dude was Alonzo and Trey today. That's who he was.
But before we go, can I say this, please? Can I say something? Everybody in the chat, and obviously you two have seen Friday. And I was driving down the street earlier and I was thinking about this. And this has nothing to do with nothing. But I think y'all need to hear this. How low were the standards of Craig's mama for him? Remember at breakfast, she said she's in school, she got all her teeth, but then she stopped. That was it. Like that's the basis for making that girl my girlfriend and my wife. She's in school and she's got all her teeth. So what I want to say to everybody out there, lower your standards. Because for Craig, it was just a girl that was doing good. She's in school. She's doing so with her life. And she had all of her teeth. If you find somebody that got all their teeth, you make sure you treat them right and you be happy with that person. All right. Good night.
What? What are we talking about? What the hell?
She in school. She's got all her teeth. That's all she needed to approve of this woman. It's a fact.
This dude is just throwing up a major ass distraction right now.
I've been thinking about this the whole episode. I'm telling you, I've been waiting for y'all to be quiet. I've been thinking about this the whole episode, dude. The standard was so low, and I just think everybody should just be cool. Don't have your standards too high.
He tried to distract us, but I get it.
Hey, what she say when she kept calling on the phone, DG?
And that crazy girl.
Hey, you think you could do
and
this?
I know it's her because I star 69 her.
I was wrong. You think you could do this?
Tell her I said to stop it.
Hey, Devin, DG pulling the 42 fake, Sam. He trying to distract the people.
I'm confused. I've been right 1,000 times. I'll take one. Why do I need to distract anybody from anything? I'm just, why y'all keep saying that? That is goofy. That's goofy. When I've been so right so much, and the fact that our coaching staff couldn't make the right decision made me wrong this time. Got it. Which also makes
I will give you credit. I will give you credit, brother. You've been.
I said it from the beginning. Why y'all keep going back to this? Just stop.
Been pretty accurate.
And it's Sam leading the train, and y'all better quit jumping in on him because I can't block Sam because he sent the StreamYard link. The rest of y'all can be blocked, so y'all better quit. Y'all better quit it. Ben got his finger on the pulse. He waiting.
Llama has your back. Llama has your back. Devin has a pretty good streak.
Devin's pretty accurate. I ain't go front. He's pretty accurate.
All right.
The basketball stuff I miss from time to time. I ain't gonna get into that. But you know,
we gotta get out of here before the 2-hour mark. My wife did already come in the chat. Tell me I better not miss my gym time. So
yes, sir.
We love y'all. Clearly, because we gave y'all a whole extra hour of Droppin Dimes this week. I don't even know how we gonna chop this up. You know,
when I got on that table, cut that clip. I need it.
Hey, we still didn't do the questions.
You know, I'm back on my streak, baby.
DG, we didn't get to the questions either. We have to do the questions and answers next week.
Yeah, tell y'all friends about Droppin Dimes, and I still got to get Liz on Droppin Dimes too.
Yeah, you keep promising us that. Me and Daniel don't even believe you no more.
I'm gonna get Liz on Droppin Dimes.
Man, go ahead on. We don't even believe you no more, man.
Look at my face.
Just stop it, son.
Look at my
just
face.
lying right in our face, just like you lied to the people about your inside trader information.
I don't even know how we will find the time.
First it was her, then it was Chili.
He been lying to us for weeks, man, for years.
I never said I was gonna get Chili.
He's a liar, and he can't be trusted. Just like he lied about that inside trader information. I love y'all. Thanks for stopping by and Droppin Dimes.
Get Chili on Droppin Dimes.
I ain't even know Chili. I ain't even know Chili watch football. Like
Chili is that's Zeke's sister who comes in the chat.
Sam, can you get your lying butt off the internet right now? We need to close
Zeke,
this out.
You in here today?
A liar.
I don't know if Zeke is in here today. Zeke was the one that said he was gonna bring Chili to the tent.
Hey man, y'all get Zeke in next week.
Zeke, big Michigan fan, been promising me Chili for years.
Sam, you sit on the throne of lies. Can't be trusted.
All right, we got to get on out of here. We will see you folks next time on the next edition.
No, don't try to leave. Read that first, Sam.
Like a live stream of Sam Gym Time with Daniel Horton and Devin Gardner play by. We can set that up.
Yeah.
In the off season, we do the Gym Time live stream. We can do that.
I think we
they can watch. They can watch me and Sam struggle.
We get that in. We get that in. But anyway,
love you, people. Love you.
We got to get out here for the 2-hour mark. In the meantime, in between time, we'll see you here on the next edition of Steady Droppin Dimes.
Peace.